Making headlines this hour, President Dr. Mohammad Muiz states that establishing a safe environment for children remains one of the highest priorities of the state. The Secretary General of the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, SAARC, Gholam Sarwar, arrives in the Maldives to participate in the upcoming Asia Media Summit. Ministry of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development announces the opening of applications for Category 3 of the Bimveria scheme, with interested citizens required to submit the application before the end of this month.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to PSN News in English with me, Mariam Shawshat. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz states that showing true love to children means teaching them about their religion and equipping them with knowledge about the world around them. The president made the remarks in a social media post shared to mark Children's Day. He also extended greetings and good wishes to children and their families on the occasion. In his message, the President stated that providing children with age-appropriate education and upbringing as they grow is a national responsibility that must be fulfilled jointly by both the government and the public. He noted that educating children in matters related to both faith and worldly life represents the true meaning of love and care for children. The President further stated that true love for children also includes empowering them with the skills needed to become responsible citizens in the future. He additionally stressed the importance of ensuring that children are protected from words or actions that could harm or negatively affect their innocent lives. Children's Day is observed nationally in the Maldives every year on 10th May. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz states that establishing a safe environment for children remains one of the highest priorities of the state.
In his address, President Muiz extended greetings to all children as well as to parents and guardians, noting that the occasion serves as an important opportunity to renew commitments towards protecting children's rights and ensuring a happy and secure environment for them. The President stated that the government is continuously working to ensure children receive the healthcare services and quality education they require. He emphasized that children have a deep need for kindness, compassion, and love as they grow, adding that every adult has a responsibility to guide and encourage children towards the right path within both family and school environments. President Muiz further noted that today's children are the future youth leaders of the nation and stressed the importance of raising them as individuals of good character who are guided by Islamic principles and Maldivian values. He stated that providing children with proper education and upbringing is a shared responsibility between the government and society as a whole. The President also highlighted the government's effort to ensure that every Maldivian child has access to opportunities within the education system. He reaffirmed that protecting children from various forms of abuse and establishing a safe environment for them remains a key state policy. In his message, President Muiz additionally warned about emerging threats facing children in the online environment. While modern technology is important for education and entertainment, he said, it can also expose children to serious and irreversible dangers if not properly monitored. The President calls on parents, teachers, and society to adopt new perspectives and work together to build a healthy and responsibly younger generation. Concluding his message, President Muiz prayed for all Maldivian children to grow up healthy, happy, and successful, expressing confidence that they would play a vital role in the country's future development and progress. First Lady Sajida Mohammed states that as long as children are protected and cared for, the hopes and aspirations held for the future will continue to become a reality. She made the remarks in a social media post shared on the occasion of Children's Day. In her message, the First Lady stated that there is no reason to lose hope for the future of a nation where children are being raised as righteous and well-mannered citizens. She emphasized the importance of ensuring children are nurtured with care, compassion and protection, noting that the future aspirations of society depend on the well-being and upbringing of children. The First Lady also extended heartfelt greetings and good wishes to all Maldivian children and their families on the occasion of Children's Day.
Children's Day is observed nationally in the Maldives on 10th May each year. Children's Ombudsperson Newmat Shafiq emphasizes on National Children's Day that the fundamental aim of protecting children's rights must be to provide a secure and happy future for all children.
In her address, she highlighted that children's happiness is linked to the love and care they receive from the environment, families, and friends, urging communities to prioritize young people's well-being in every decision made on their behalf. Speaking to children and the broader public, Newmat stressed that the occasion serves as a vital reminder of the importance of nurturing strong relationships with family members and close friends. She encouraged open communication, emphasizing that children should feel comfortable discussing their experiences and emotions with those closest to them. According to the Ombudsperson, time spent with family and friends should be both enjoyable and meaningful, contributing positively to a child's development and sense of belonging. She advised that when spending time with children, adults should focus on activities that children genuinely enjoy, finding satisfaction in and happiness from, activities that strengthen bonds while promoting mental health and positive growth. The Ombudsperson also noted that just as the home environment plays a crucial role in a child's well-being, schools serve as spaces where children can freely express their feelings and develop meaningful relationships with their peers. She emphasized that creating a culture of respect and care among all students and teachers is essential for making schools feel safe and supportive environments for young learners. Newmat concluded her address by calling for a unified policy approach that places children's interest at the forefront of every direction. She commended the ongoing efforts of those working to protect children's rights and appealed to all sectors of society to collaborate in strengthening these essential protections, ensuring that every child has the opportunity to thrive in a safe, caring, and nurturing environment.
The Maldives is observing National Children's Day this Sunday, 10th May, an annual occasion defined this year by a central focus on family stability and the well-being of children. Recognizing that youth represent the nation's ultimate hope, authorities maintain that the metrics of genuine national development are rooted in the safety and the physical and psychological health of children. In alignment with global standards, the Maldives is implementing rigorous measures to construct a safe and secure environment for its youngest citizens. To dismantle systematic barriers, the government has ratified and is enforcing the Child Rights Protection Act, the Juvenile Justice Act, and the Education Act. Despite these legislative advancements, the Ministry of Health, Family and Welfare recently documented 230 cases of abuse in a single month, including 92 reports significantly involving the maltreatment of minors, figures officially described as deeply alarming. The government is pursuing a permanent solution, state officials said, reiterating that a safe and dignified environment for every child remains a paramount objective. Guided by international conventions, the state has initiated programs that successfully placed 110 children back into family environments over the past 2 years. However, the ministry reported that 160 children remained wards of the state as of June 2025. To support them, the government is expanding childcare facilities and elevating operational standards in Malé and the outer atolls. Partnerships with the private sector further aim to equip aging out adolescents with essential life skills and employment, ensuring state-run centers function as transitional support systems that allow young individuals to achieve independence. Mothers represent an exemplary model of courage and are profoundly deserving of gratitude, a sentiment underscored globally as communities celebrate Mother's Day today. Observed annually on the second Sunday of May in many countries, the occasion highlights the preeminent role mothers play in the upbringing, education, and moral development of children. The enduring courage of mothers warrants the highest praise, and profound greetings are extended equally to those balancing demanding careers with child-rearing and those performing arduous, full-time labor of raising children at home. Within the Islamic tradition, mothers are elevated to a remarkably distinguished position where the preservation of their rights constitutes a foundation pillar of ethics. Abu Huraira reported that a man asked the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, peace and blessings be upon him, who is the most deserving of my good company. Your mother. The man asked, Then who? The Prophet said, Your mother. The man asked again, Then who? The Prophet said, Your mother. The man asked again, Then who? The Prophet said, Your father. This teaching signifies that a mother's rights are 3 times greater than those of a father. Religious doctrine states that serving one's mother and ensuring her contentment are paramount pathways to paradise. Allah the Almighty highlights in the Holy Quran the immense physical toll of motherhood, specifically carrying a child in the womb, enduring the agonizing pains of childbirth, and the relentless dedication required to raise a family, while issuing a divine command to treat mothers with the utmost kindness. Despite these standards, contemporary mothers face significant challenges. Unsolicited commentary regarding physical transformations during pregnancy and judgmental remarks concerning a child's development frequently provoke acute anxiety, compromising mental well-being. This burden is pronounced for single mothers who often assume the entirety of financial expenses alone. Following marital separation, the failure of numerous fathers to provide support forces mothers to independently shoulder an immense weight. Furthermore, elderly mothers often suffer the agony of isolation when adult children become too consumed by busy schedules to visit or share affection. While appreciation cannot be confined to a single date, Mother's Day formally recognizes maternal resilience. Every citizen shares a collective responsibility to cultivate a secure environment that guarantees the psychological and physical well-being of mothers everywhere. Secretary General of the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation (SAARC), Gholam Sarwar, arrives in the Maldives to participate in the upcoming Asia Media Summit (AMS).
The Asia Media Summit is an annual event organized by the Asia Pacific Institute for Broadcasting Development (AIBD). Preparations are currently underway to host this year's summit in the Maldives, with delegates from participating countries continuing to arrive ahead of the event. More than 200 representatives are expected to take part. Upon his arrival at Welana International Airport, Gholam Sarwar was welcomed by Managing Director of Public Service Media (PSM) Ahmad Shakib and PSM Chairperson Aminat Namza. Also arriving in the Maldives today for the summit was the State Secretary for Social Communications of Timor-Leste, Expedito Loro Diaz Jimenez. This year's Asia Media Summit will be held from 11th to 14th May at Villa Nautica under the theme Maldives 2.0 From Tradition to Tech. The summit is being organized by PSM in collaboration with AIBD. According to organizers, the event will bring together more than 200 senior delegates involved in broadcasting and media regulation from countries across the Asia-Pacific region. A series of specialized workshops will be held on the 11th of May as part of the pre-summit activities. Key topics scheduled for discussion include the use of artificial intelligence tools in storytelling and news production, development of AI technologies, maintaining public trust in digital media during an AI-driven era, and the role of media in climate change awareness. The official opening ceremony of the summit will take place on the 12th of May, followed by plenary sessions on 12th and 13th May, focusing on regional media goals and cooperation. The summit will conclude on the 14th of May with a special coral planting activity in Kudagiri. The Asia Media Summit is regarded as one of the leading media gatherings in the Asia-Pacific region, providing a platform for broadcasting leaders to discuss responsible media practices, future industry targets, and regional cooperation.
Ministry of Islamic Affairs and Endowments confirms Saudi Arabian officials have commenced their arrival in Male to finalize logistical operations under the Makkah Route Initiative, a program designed to streamline the departure of Maldivian pilgrims for the 1447 Hajj pilgrimage.
Omar Abdul Majid, the operations manager and a senior official of the delegation, arrived Saturday night with additional 18 members scheduled to arrive on Monday. The Maldives was integrated into the initiative during the 1446 Hajj season, a service inaugurated last year by President Dr. Mohammad Muiz. Under the protocol, Saudi Arabian immigration procedures are completed before departure, and the initiative assumes responsibility for transporting luggage directly to hotel accommodations. This arrangement substantially curtails the time pilgrims spend navigating King Abdul Aziz International Airport in Jeddah. Securing the specialized provision following high-level diplomatic discussions reflects the bilateral bonds and goodwill harbored by King Salman bin Abdul Aziz bin Abdul Rahman Al Saud and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud. The Maldivian government and the Islamic Ministry extended gratitude to the Saudi leadership and Ambassador Yahya Hassan Al Khattani for their cooperation. The initiative, a component of the Saudi Vision 2030 framework, aims to establish efficient travel for international pilgrims. To ensure seamless operations, advanced teams from the Maldives Hajj Mission and Hajj Corporation are currently coordinating logistics in Saudi Arabia. Departures begin 15th May via 4 flights, with transportation divided equitably between Saudia and the national airline Maldivian.
Ministry of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development announces the opening of applications for Category 3 of the Bimveria scheme, with interested citizens required to submit their applications before the end of this month.
The announcement marks a significant expansion of the government's housing initiative, which aims to provide accessible housing solutions to citizens across the nation. According to the official notice published in the government's Gazette, Category 3 applications will be accepted in 2 distinct categories designed to accommodate different applicant circumstances. The first category permits single applicants who wish to apply for both land and flats under the Bimveria scheme, while the second category caters to joint applicants who prefer to file separate applications for land and flats. The Bimveria scheme operates under 3 distinct categories, each designed to address specific segments of the population. Category 1 encompasses individuals who have previously submitted joint applications and received land under the scheme. Category 2 serves those who have already received a flat through a government social housing program but were previously unable to apply for the Bimveria scheme. Category 3, currently open for applications, targets single applicants who wish to give up the allocated land from the Bimveria scheme and file separate applications for a land or flat. Under the housing initiative, successful applicants will receive land from Rasmale, with each plot measuring 1,250 square feet. The government has established an ambitious target of distributing 15,000 plots and 7,900 flats as part of the first housing project. The deadline for land and flat applications for most categories under this initial housing project expires at the month's end. The government's comprehensive housing policy, branded as Housing for All, was officially announced in November of last year. The ministry subsequently opened applications in January of this year. The government has demonstrated responsiveness to public feedback by introducing additional categories following consultations and meetings with the public.
The Maldives Transport and Contracting Company MTCC announces the completion of the initial phase of expansion work at the Kurdu fishing harbour in Garfalif Atoll, marking a significant milestone in the government's efforts to modernize the nation's fisheries sector. The current 300-feet harbour, which now accommodates only 3 vessels simultaneously, will be expanded to 1,000 feet, providing a substantially improved infrastructure for one of the Maldives' most important southern fishing communities. This development represents the fulfillment of a key government promise to enhance the capacity of the fish processing factory and address the long-standing challenges faced by fishermen. The Kurdu Fishing Harbour project represents the largest single investment in fisheries infrastructure in recent history, with the Ministry of Fisheries, Agriculture and Ocean Resources confirming an investment of $5.1 billion sourced from the Saudi Fund. According to MTCC's progress reports, around 56% of the overall development work has been successfully completed, with the remaining construction and upgrades scheduled for finalization by April next year. The comprehensive nature of the project is reflected in the detailed breakdown of construction progress, which indicates that 73% of dredging operations, 71% of shore protection work, 70% of inner seawall construction and 18% of auxiliary infrastructure development have all been substantially advanced. The government has emphasized the strategic importance of the Kurdu Fishing Harbour development as a cornerstone initiative aimed at resolving the operational difficulties that fishermen in the region have historically encountered. Saudi Aramco reports a 25% jump in the first quarter profit, showing its resilience as US-Iran war tensions curtail Strait of Hormuz shipping, with the state oil giant's east-west crude pipeline running at full capacity to mitigate the impact to supplies.
The world's top oil exporter earned a net profit of $32.5 billion in the 3 months ended March 31st, beating an LSEG consensus estimated of $30.95 billion. Total revenue surged nearly 7% from a year earlier to $115.49 billion due to higher prices and volume sold of both crude oil and refined and chemical products. Iran's blockade of shipping through the crucial Hormuz waterway amid the US-Israeli conflict, which has curtailed energy supply and sent prices surging, prompted Aramco to ramp up crude flows from its east coast to the Red Sea port of Yanbu. The pipeline can supply about 2 million BPD to refineries on Saudi Arabia's west coast, leaving 5 million BPD for export. During the war, Saudi Arabia cut output by 2 million BPD after Iran blockaded Hormuz, a waterway that carried a fifth of world oil supply before the war. The line mainly carries Arab Light and some Arab Extra Light, with heavier grades curtailed.
Centre-right leader Peter Magyar was sworn in as Hungary's Prime Minister, propelled into office on promises of change after years of economic stagnation and strained ties with key allies under his predecessor, Viktor Orban.
Magyar defeated nationalist Orban after 16 years in power in an April 12th election landslide, holding his Tisza party a constitutional majority that will allow him to roll back reforms critics say have weakened democracy. Foreign investors and Hungarians alike have welcomed Magyar's victory, with the forint hitting 4 years highs against the euro, bond yields falling, and post-election polls showing more voters backing Tisza. But any honeymoon for the 45-year-old leader may be short-lived, with the clock ticking to secure billions of euros in suspended European Union funding needed to kickstart the economy and shore up strained public finances. Magyar inherits an economy that only just emerged from stagnation in the first quarter and now faces fresh headwinds from surging energy costs linked to the Middle East conflict, which could weigh heavily on Europe's import-reliant economy. He has pledged to reaffirm Hungary's Western orientation. The NATO member has been seen as drifting towards the Kremlin under Orban, which opposed EU efforts to support Ukraine against Russia's invasion. Magyar, who has pledged a sweeping anti-corruption drive, aims to broker a deal with EU leaders to unlock suspended EU funding by May 25th.
Rodrigo de Paul, Luis Suarez, Sergio Reguilon and Lionel Messi each scored to lead visiting Inter Miami to a 4-2 win over Toronto FC.
Messi also had 2 assists as Miami made sure it wouldn't repeat last week's stunning 4-3 home loss against Orlando City when it surrendered a 3-0 lead. With his offensive output on the day, Messi added another accomplishment to his already long list, becoming the fastest MLS player to reach 100 goal contributions. He did so in just 64 games, beating the record previously held by Toronto legend Sebastian Giovinco, who needed 95 games to reach the feat. Messi has 59 goals and 41 assists since joining Inter Miami late in the 2023 season. Emilio Aristobal scored a brace for Toronto. The Herons took a 1-0 lead when DePaul's free kick from 25 yards out in the 44th minute ricocheted off the wall, and his one-time right-footed shot hit the post and went in. Suarez gave Miami a 2-0 advantage when he finished Messi's pass with his left foot in the 56th minute. The Herons took advantage of the speed created when Toronto forward Raheem Edwards remained down on the pitch. In the 73rd minute, Miami went up 3-0 when Messi returned a pass to Reguilon, who scored his first MLS goal. Miami poured it on at 4-0 when DePaul connected with Messi in the middle of the box in the 75th minute. Aristobal trimmed Miami's lead to 4-1 in the 82nd minute. Toronto trailed 4-2 on Aristobal's header, On a Kobe Franklin pass in the 90th minute, early in the match, Toronto had its chances. Alonso Coelho's free kick from outside the box in the 8th minute skipped through the Miami wall, but Dane St. Clair made the save. In the next few minutes, Toronto continued to press as Malik Henry, Marcus Simemanich, and Deandre Kerr had shots go wide of the target. Miami's offense started to build late in the first half when a Messi shot sizzled beyond the near post in the 38th minute. Moments later, St. Clair made a diving punt save of the Daniel Saloy shot to preserve Miami's 1-0 lead at halftime. The 47th minute featured Luis Suarez forcing a turnover at midfield, which set Messi up for a 2-on-1 run. Messi drew in both defenders and slipped a pass to Suarez on the wing, whose shot from inside the box was off target.
Wild animals helped Britain's King Charles deliver his birthday wishes to British natural historian and broadcaster David Attenborough.
A royal video showed Charles writing the birthday card to celebrate Attenborough's 100th birthday, while animals native to Britain delivered it to his London home. Charles thanked Attenborough for his commitment to the natural world. Footage showed Attenborough's holding the card at a ceremony held at the Royal Albert Hall. Attenborough's films have communicated the wonder and also the tragedies of the natural world to viewers across the globe. Standout scenes include his encounter with two playful young mountain gorillas who clambered onto him during his landmark 1979 series Life on Earth. He also made his audience marvel at the teamwork of a pod of orcas hunting a seal by creating waves to break up ice, and his telling in 2012 of the story of Lonesome George, the surviving Pinta Island tortoise, moved people to tears.
And that's all we have for you right now. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more news updates. Have a good day. Goodbye.